In today's world, everything moves very fast. There are always messages to answer, news to read, and things to do. We carry phones that keep us connected all the time. People believe they need to be busy to feel important. But this constant activity creates noise, not only around us, but inside us as well. This noise is not just sound. It is the noise of thinking too much, planning too much, worrying too much. We wake up with full calendars and go to sleep with tired minds. Even when we sit quietly, our thoughts keep running. Many people live like this for years and do not realize how much it affects their peace. When life becomes too noisy, it is hard to see things clearly. It is like looking into muddy water. The more we move, the cloudier it becomes. But when we stop and let it settle, the water becomes clear again. In the same way, when we make space in our lives, clarity returns. We begin to see what really matters. This is why simplicity is important. It is not about having nothing. It is about removing what we do not need. When we let go of the extra, we make room for the truth to appear. In a noisy world, the simple life is a quiet blessing. It brings peace, not because it is empty, but because it is full of what is real. If you feel tired from the noise, you are not alone. But you can begin to turn down the volume. Simplicity is not far away. It starts with one small step, the choice to slow down. From there, clarity will follow. Many people think simplicity means living with very few things. They imagine a small room, no furniture, or wearing the same clothes every day. But true simplicity is not only about how much we own. It is more about how we relate to the things around us. A person can live in a big house and still be simple. Another person can live with very little but still feel heavy inside. Simplicity is not measured by numbers. It is felt in the heart. It comes from a clear intention to keep life light and meaningful. True simplicity begins when we ask, "Do I really need this?" This question can be about objects, but also about our actions, words, and thoughts. When we stop doing things only to please others or to chase success, we begin to find space. That space is where clarity begins to grow. Simplicity also means honesty. It means we do not hide behind many layers of image or expectation. We show up as we are, and we speak with care. When we are simple, we are not trying to impress. We are just trying to live well, in a way that feels true. This path may seem quiet, even plain, but it is not boring. In fact, it helps us see beauty more clearly. A flower, a kind word, a slow walk, these become treasures. We do not need to chase after excitement. We begin to feel full from simple things. True simplicity is not something we find outside. It begins inside, with a choice. A choice to live with less, but feel more. A choice to clear the way, so that we can truly see. Many people believe that the more they plan, the more control they will have over their lives. They think if they organize every detail, they can avoid problems and stay ahead. So they create long to-do lists, make rules, and try to manage every part of their day. This creates a complex life, full of schedules and expectations. But this kind of control is an illusion. Life does not follow our plans. It brings change, surprise, and sometimes loss. The more we try to control everything, the more stress we feel when things do not go as we hoped. Instead of feeling safe, we feel tired and anxious. Complexity often grows from fear of failure, of missing out, or of being judged. So we add more to our lives, thinking it will protect us. But what it really does is fill our time and mind with things that do not bring peace. True clarity comes not from control, but from trust. When we let go of the need to manage every little thing, we begin to breathe more easily. We stop fighting with life. We begin to flow with it. This is not weakness. It is wisdom. A simple life does not mean we give up our goals. It means we choose them more carefully. We understand that we cannot control everything, and that is okay. We focus on what we can do with care, and we let the rest be. When we reduce complexity, we also reduce fear. We learn to live with open hands instead of tight fists. In that openness, we find peace. Not because life is perfect, but because we have stopped trying to make it so. The mind is like a room. When the room is full of things, it feels crowded. We cannot move freely. We trip over objects and feel stressed. But when the room is clean and open, we breathe more easily. We feel calm. The same is true for our thoughts. When life is filled with too many choices, too many voices and too many tasks, our mind becomes restless. We jump from one thought to another, trying to keep up. We worry about the future, regret the past, and forget the present. This mental noise steals our energy and peace. Simplicity helps us create space in the mind. When we remove what is not necessary, our thinking becomes clearer. We do not waste time on things that don't matter. We stop chasing too many things at once. We begin to focus on what is truly important. Simple routines also support a calm mind. Waking up, eating, working, and resting at regular times can bring a quiet rhythm to the day. It gives the mind fewer decisions to make and more time to rest. Even small acts, like drinking tea slowly or walking without a goal, can become moments of quiet. When we live simply, we notice more. We hear the wind. We see the light. We feel the breath. These small things remind us that peace is not far. It is always near, just hidden under the noise. You do not need to change everything at once. Even one small step, a simpler meal, a quieter room, or fewer tasks, can bring peace to your mind. With each step, you create space. And in that space, calmness naturally arises. Simplicity is not only about big life changes. It is also found in the small choices we make every day. These choices may seem unimportant, but they shape the way we live. When we choose simply, we give ourselves more peace and less pressure. Each day brings many decisions: what to eat, what to wear, how to spend our time. If we always look for the best, the fastest, or the most exciting, we may feel tired even before the day truly begins. But when we choose what is enough, not too little, not too much, we feel lighter. For example, having fewer clothes can make mornings easier. Eating a simple meal can feel more peaceful than chasing the perfect dish. Saying no to one extra task can open space for rest or quiet time. These small acts are not signs of laziness. They are acts of care. Simple choices also help us stay present. When we stop trying to do everything, we can fully do one thing. We can listen deeply in a conversation. We can enjoy one quiet cup of coffee. We can walk slowly without rushing. These moments may seem small, but they bring clarity and joy. Simplicity in daily life is not about avoiding all activity. It is about choosing with care. It is asking, does this bring peace? Does this help me live well? When we use these questions, we start to build a simpler life, one day at a time. Even in a busy world, we have the power to choose, and each simple choice is a step toward a clearer, more peaceful life. We often think that having more things will make us happier. A bigger house, a newer phone, more clothes. These are seen as signs of success. But many people discover, after gaining these things, that they still feel empty. The joy doesn't last. Instead, the things we own begin to own us. Every possession comes with a cost. We must clean it, protect it, repair it, and store it. The more we have, the more time and energy we spend managing what we own. Slowly, without noticing, our lives become heavy. We carry this weight in our homes, in our minds, and in our hearts. Letting go is not easy. We often attach feelings and memories to objects. I might need this someday, we tell ourselves. Or, this reminds me of someone I loved. These thoughts are natural, but when we keep too much, we stop living in the present. We live in fear of loss, or in the shadow of the past. Simplicity teaches us that freedom does not come from having everything. It comes from needing less. When we release what no longer serves us, we gain space. Not only in our rooms, but in our thoughts. We begin to breathe easier, move freely, and think more clearly. This does not mean we must live with nothing. It means we keep what is useful, beautiful, or meaningful, and let the rest go. In doing so, we discover that we already have enough. The simple life is not poor, it is rich in freedom. It gives us the power to walk lightly and see clearly. When we are no longer buried under things, we can finally rise and truly live. Many people think money is their greatest resource, but money can be earned, saved, or replaced. Time, once spent, never returns. Every minute that passes is gone forever. That is why time is the most precious thing we have. Still, we often spend our time without much thought. We fill our days with long hours of work, endless messages, and constant scrolling. At the end of the day, we feel tired, but we are not sure what we really did. Time slips away, and we do not even notice. Simplicity helps us respect time. When we live simply, we begin to ask different questions. Is this how I want to spend my time? Does this activity bring peace, or just more stress? We learn to say no to things that steal our time, and yes to things that give us life. A simple life creates space for what matters most. We find more time to rest, to reflect, to enjoy a meal without rushing. We connect more deeply with people because we are not always in a hurry. Even doing nothing becomes a meaningful act when we understand its value. It is not how much we do that makes a life rich. It is how we use the time we are given. When we slow down, we start to notice things we missed before. The feeling of sunlight, the sound of quiet, the comfort of breathing deeply. These are small, but they bring a deep sense of peace. Simplicity is not just about fewer things. It is about more time. Time that is full of clarity, kindness, and presence. When we treat time with care, life becomes more clear, more gentle, and more real. Relationships are one of the most important parts of life. They can bring joy, comfort, and support. But they can also become complicated and stressful when filled with unspoken expectations, misunderstandings, or past pain. Emotional complexity often grows when we try to control how others see us, or when we hold on to things we should release. Simplicity in relationships does not mean we avoid people or never feel emotion. It means we try to be honest, open, and kind, without adding extra layers. When we speak clearly and listen fully, we create space for real connection. We stop trying to be perfect or make others perfect, and we accept what is true. Many people hold on to old feelings, anger, guilt, or disappointment. These emotions can stay with us for years, weighing down our hearts. Simplicity invites us to let go, not to forget, but to stop carrying pain that no longer helps us. We learn that peace comes not from winning, but from understanding. Simple relationships are not shallow. In fact, they are often deeper, because they are built on trust and respect, not on fear or pressure. We stop expecting others to complete us. Instead, we meet them with calm hearts, ready to share rather than demand. This way of being takes time and patience, but as we let go of drama and confusion, we find something better: quiet joy, a simple smile, a kind word, a shared silence. these moments become enough. They remind us that love does not need to be loud. It just needs to be real. By choosing emotional simplicity, we choose peace. And in that peace, our relationships become clearer, softer, and more true. Many people search for peace outside themselves. They look for it in new experiences, new things, or new places. But true peace is not found in the world around us. It grows inside when our hearts and minds are no longer filled with noise and worry. Simplicity helps create the space where peace can appear. When we stop chasing more, we begin to notice what we already have. We stop comparing our lives to others. We stop trying to prove something. Instead, we begin to feel enough, just as we are. A simple life removes many of the distractions that pull us away from ourselves. When we let go of extra desires and extra thinking, we come closer to our true nature. We begin to feel calm, not because everything is perfect, but because we are no longer pulled in many directions. Inner peace is not the same as feeling happy all the time. It is deeper than happiness. It is a quiet strength, a steady center. Even when life is difficult, we can return to that center. It is always there, waiting beneath the surface of our busy lives. Living simply supports this return. It reminds us to slow down, to breathe, and to listen, not to the world, but to ourselves. We begin to understand that peace is not something we must earn. It is something we must allow. The path to inner peace does not need to be complex. It begins with simple steps, clearing space, letting go, and being present. As we remove what is not needed, we uncover what has always been there: clarity, stillness, and peace. In today's world, we are told that more is better. More choices, more experiences, more achievements. But when we try to take in everything, we often feel less focused, less satisfied, and less alive. Our senses become dull, and our hearts feel tired. Simplicity offers a different way. It teaches us that when we choose less, we actually feel more. When we stop trying to do everything, we begin to notice the beauty in small things. A single flower, a quiet meal, a few kind words. These moments begin to touch us deeply. When we reduce the noise, we hear more clearly. When we eat simply, we taste more. When we speak less, we listen better. In the space that simplicity creates, our senses open and our feelings become real. We are no longer numb. We are awake. It is not always easy to choose less. The world around us pushes us to do more, buy more, and be more. But with time and care, we can learn to resist that push. We can learn to ask ourselves, do I really need this? Or am I just afraid of missing something? When we choose less, we are not losing. We are making room for rest, for clarity, for meaning. We are making space for life to touch us again. And in that space, we feel more joy, more connection, and more truth. Simplicity is not about lack. It is about presence. By choosing less, we are able to fully meet the moment. And in meeting the moment, we discover what really matters. We live in a world full of sound. Music plays in stores, traffic moves outside, and voices speak constantly, from people, from devices, from our own thoughts. In this noise, it is easy to forget the power of silence, but silence is not empty. It is full of meaning, full of truth. Silence gives us a chance to hear what is often hidden. When the outer world becomes quiet, we begin to notice our inner world. We hear our own thoughts more clearly. We feel our emotions without distraction. We start to understand what is real and what is just noise. Many people are afraid of silence. They think it means loneliness or boredom. But silence is not the enemy. It is a doorway. When we step into it with an open heart, we find clarity. We see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. In silence, we do not need to explain ourselves. We do not need to fix anything. We simply sit, breathe, and allow. This gentle allowing brings peace. It helps us soften. It helps us return to the present moment. Simplicity and silence are close friends. A simple life makes space for silence, and silence makes space for understanding. Together, they guide us to a place where we are no longer lost in thought or pulled by desire. We are simply here, awake, calm, and clear. You do not need hours of silence. Even a few quiet moments each day can make a difference. Turn off the noise. Let the world slow down. In that silence, you may discover a voice deeper than words, the voice of your true self. Many people move through life without much thought. They follow routines, meet expectations, and make choices simply because others do. Days pass quickly, filled with tasks and habits that feel automatic. But when we live this way, we often lose connection with what truly matters. Living with intention means choosing our actions with care. It means asking, why am I doing this? And, does this bring value to my life? These questions help us slow down and focus. They guide us to live not by accident, but by purpose. Simplicity supports intentional living. When we remove distractions and extra demands, we have more space to think clearly. We can see our values more easily. We can act from a place of calm instead of rushing. Each step becomes a conscious step. This does not mean every moment must be serious or deep. It means that we are awake in our lives. We eat with attention. We speak with kindness. We rest when we need to. Even small things, washing a cup, opening a door, can become part of a meaningful day when done with intention. Living with intention also helps us face difficulties. When challenges come, we do not just react. We pause. We ask, what is the best way to respond? This quiet choice brings strength. It gives us power without force. A simple and intentional life does not look special from the outside, but inside it feels full of presence, purpose, and peace. We stop drifting, and we begin to live with direction, not chasing everything, but walking clearly toward what matters most. This is the heart of simplicity, not just doing less, but doing what truly matters, with full awareness and gentle strength. In the middle of life's busy paths, we often forget why we began walking at all. We get caught in plans, opinions, and small worries. Over time, the heart becomes covered, like a clear mirror hidden beneath dust. Simplicity is the act of wiping that dust away. It brings us back to what is essential. The essence of life is not something new we need to find. It is something we already have, but often overlook. It lives in quiet moments, honest feelings, and simple truths. When we return to the essence, we remember what really matters: kindness, presence, and the gift of being alive. We do not need to become someone else. We only need to return to who we already are, beneath the noise. A simple life helps us do this. It removes what is extra, what is false, and what is forced. What remains is real, and from that, clarity grows. This return is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. Each morning we can ask, what is essential today? Not, what will impress others, or what will make me busy, but simply, what is true? These small reflections guide us home. In this home, the home of essence, we feel grounded. We are not pulled by every new idea or demand. We are not lost in the storm of comparison. We are steady, like a mountain, quiet and clear. To return to the essence is to remember what life is really about. Not more, not faster, just deeper. And through that depth, we discover a simple truth, that everything we truly need has always been within us. The path of simplicity is not always easy, but it is always clear. It does not promise a perfect life. Instead, it offers a real one, quiet, honest, and full of meaning. In choosing less, we uncover more, not more noise or things, but more depth, more peace, and more truth. This simple way is not far. It is already around us, in each quiet moment, each kind act, and each thoughtful choice. We do not need to search for it in distant places. We only need to pause, notice, and return. Again and again, we come back to what matters. You may find that the world continues to pull you toward more speed, more goals, more opinions. But there is strength in gently saying, "No, thank you." In choosing a simpler life, you are choosing to live awake, to live from the heart. If these words have offered even a moment of quiet, I am grateful. Thank you for spending this time with me, and for walking alongside this path, even for a little while. To those who have liked this video, left a comment, shared kind words, or become a member of this channel, please know that your support means a great deal. Your presence here helps keep this space gentle, thoughtful, and alive. I am truly thankful for you. Whether you visit often or just once, may you carry something simple and clear with you. Not as a rule, but as a quiet reminder that peace is already near, and sometimes the smallest steps can bring us home. Thank you truly. May your days be light and your heart remain steady.